The entire IMF has been disavowed. Now I've been ordered to take you to Washington, where they will hang the Kremlin bombing on you and your team, unless you were to escape after assaulting Brandt and me.
Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. The film begins with Ethan Hunt in a Russian prison, which he is soon broken out of on the request of completing a new mission. However, that mission goes sour when the Kremlin is blown up and the IMF is branded terrorists. The President of the United States disavows the IMF and enacts Ghost Protocol, giving them the responsibility of clearing their name and trying to figure out who the real person that bombed the Kremlin was before a nuclear war begins.
But if any one of your team is caught, they will be branded terrorists, out to incite global nuclear war.
So what happens now?
Therefore, it is up to Ethan Hunt and his team, with the resources that they only have and no backup, to figure out how to find the terrorists and put them to a stop. So before we start my thoughts about this review, we're going to go into a quick content review of what's in this film so that you are a little bit aware if you have not seen the film already. So for violence content, there are a few stabbings, gunshots, and explosions. There are also a few intense scenes that we see throughout the film, which are really exciting for some, but at the same time, for others, they could be a little scary. There's only a little bit of violence. It's PG-13 mostly. There's no R-rated stuff, thankfully. If you've seen other Mission Impossible films, and it's very similar to that. In sexual content, we see a couple of low-cut dresses and skirts. We do not see any nudity, which is good. We do see a shirtless Tom Cruise, and one woman tries to seduce a man. And then there's this one-off kind of jokish where a guy says, the next time we have a mission like this, I want to seduce the rich guy. Interesting comment there. It's just meant for a joke, but just throwing that out there in case it's something that you don't want to see in your films. If you go over to drug content, there is a few scenes in which we see people consume alcohol, beverages, and that's all there really is in the drug content. We do see a few people smoke as well, so you have that. And if you go over to the language content, we see a couple S words, about 4 D words. We see one F-bomb in the subtitles. Of course, it's got like all the exclamation marks, so unless you know what that all means, it just will wave right past you. As well as there are a couple of Lord's name in vain. So that's kind of just a quick couple second content review. If you're still with us, great. So now we're going to jump right into my thoughts of the movie as an overall film. I think it was one of the better Mission Impossible films, in my opinion. I think it was brilliantly shot. I like the character development, especially of William Brandt. He is a newcomer that came in. He's played by Jeremy Renner. And he's got secrets in his past. They're really big for Ethan Hunt, and Ethan doesn't know about them, but it's a really big secret that William Brandt's trying to hide, and he's kicking himself for it because it involves Ethan. So it's really interesting to see how the film progresses, at which point William has to tell Ethan about his secret. And I do really think that Jeremy Renner nailed that role. It's great to see him.
Who are you really, Brandt?
We all have our secrets.
I really hope, this is a side note, that we see him in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. I hope we see that. Just really great. I enjoyed the film's plot. I like how they don't just say, oh, it's just going to be a nuclear war immediately. No, the villain has to go and find the activation codes, the nuclear launch codes, and he's got to work through and find a satellite that he can launch them from. It's really in depth. It's not just like, oh, I've got a nuclear case, I can just hit the button and boom. It actually is really worked out. I also like some of the comedy that you get in this film. It's not like over the top. It's just in there a little bits, which is really great for a Mission Impossible film, because it's supposed to be action and adventure, but to throw a laugh in every now and then, it's funny too. So that's always good to have. The stunt that Tom Cruise, the main one that he does in this film, is where he climbs up the world's largest building, and it's like glass on the side, and he's like climbing up with like sticky gloves basically, and you would think just the heights alone was scary. I mean, if you weren't scared of heights before we watched this film, after watching this film, you most definitely will be scared of heights.
You're not gonna make it!
You're not helping.
But they make it so it's so beautifully shot, and it's just really a thrilling couple minutes that Tom Cruise is climbing, and it makes you literally think you are with him on top of on the side of the building climbing up. So it's really interesting to see. I really enjoyed. There's also Sandstorm was really good, really shot well. All the scenes are really they did a really good job with the camera work. So that makes the movie even better as you feel like you're actually with the team. So I really enjoyed that. Overall, I think this film probably gets like a 7 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to review all the Mission Impossible films over the next couple of weeks on my channel. So far, we've done Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible Fallout, and now we're doing Ghost Protocol. Let me know if you have a favorite so that I can get that one reviewed next. And just leave a comment and like if you guys enjoyed this video. And if you would, subscribe. It really means a lot to us, helps us grow and make more videos. And I promise you guys won't regret it.